guys, it's Bella and welcome to Beauty on a Budget. Now what I wanted to do today was go through my eyeshadows with you. I have scaled them down a lot. Do you remember I used to have that big set of drawers? Well, I've just got one little set now. I don't think you can see them behind me, but I've just got one little set and I've got lipsticks in one and eye products in another, and then face stuff in another. So I haven't got what I had. I've definitely got rid of anything I definitely don't want. But I'm looking at my eyeshadow collection the other day and thinking, well, can I do anything else? You know, can I scale it down anymore, or how? And you know, I want to keep the ones I like. Now I don't know if you guys have this problem, but I've got palettes. And like there's two eyeshadows I may use out of them and nothing else. And it seems to be keeping a whole palette. I've never had what you call a Z palette, is it? I've never had one of those. I am thinking about getting one of those because there's certain eyeshadows that, you know, that I think I could just depot and just keep the ones in the Z palette, and I probably would, you know, get it right down to just a couple of palettes. So I'm going to go through them with you and see what you think. So let's make a start. I'll start with my smaller palettes first. Now this is one, you know, I love W7. I've always loved W7. With W7, I think I've said it to you before, it's a hit or a miss. It can be absolutely fantastic or it can be total rubbish. This one is the purple palette and it's called Midnight. They do a bigger one. I think it's called In the Night. Now they're quite pigmented. I wouldn't say they weren't pigmented. I mean, I've got quite a lot to do, so I don't want to. They're not too badly pigmented, but they're chalky and the colours just don't blend enough. I mean, some of, you know, W7s are absolutely cracking. I love some of their palettes, but this just doesn't cut it. I've kept it because I didn't have, you know, so many new purpley, winey toning palettes. And this is probably one of the first ones I got of those sort of shades. But I don't like it, guys. You know, it's in my drawer because I keep things I don't like to waste, but I'm not going to use it. So I'm putting that to one side and maybe someone else can use that. Now the one that I do use, the Mauve blue one that I do use that I would never part with, that's well worn. This is the Petal Pusher from Wet n Wild. I know that this has been revamped now. This is the old packaging. Excuse me, guys, I will try and open this for you. But that's the one. Now, I love this palette, and if I'm going to wear a mauve shade, this is probably the palette I will go to the most, 99% of the time. I love these original iconic palettes from Wet n Wild. I mean, I just think they're terrific palettes. So if I'm going to go for a mauve, this is the one that I would go for. So I definitely would not part with that. So that's going there. And the other one, which is well the same make, and I would never part with in a million years because it's my favourite all-time palette, is the Comfort Zone. I would never part with that. I absolutely adore that. And although it's not neutrals, although it's, you know, all shimmers, they're just such lovely shimmers, guys. They're not those glittery, falling in your lines kind of shimmers. They're Wet n Wild got it really right with these palettes. I don't know what the new ones are like. They're not over here yet. We don't get Wet n Wild over here. But this one is absolutely a stunner. You can get it on Amazon. Now there's another one by Wet n Wild that I thought I would try and replace the W7 palette that I didn't like, so I wanted some pinks. I haven't used this much yet, but you would need to brighten up the lid, but the colours are very nice. I do like the colours, and I think it's something I may go to in the summer. So I definitely don't want to give this one out. I don't know yet. Ooh, drop the brush. If it's going to be a hit or a miss, I'm not sure. But certainly I will give that one a try, because I just love Wet n Wild. I'm just going through the smaller palettes first. Another one by Wet n Wild. Can't you tell I like Wet n Wild, guys? This one is another all-time favourite, all-time staple. It's Walking on Eggshells. I love that one. If I've got a matte palette, and this one or this one is always the one that I will put on my lid, just to give me that little bit of zhuzhuzhum. See, just that little bit of zhuzhuzhum. I think I've given myself too much zhuzhuzhum there. But they're the ones I will always use. I love that palette. These palettes I would replace when they're gone. I would replace them because, and I never replace palettes, but I would then because I love them. This was a neutral grey one that I bought from NYC. I liked it because it did have a primer in it, but they're chalky and the colours are not nice and they don't blend, and I've had it for ages sitting in my drawer and I never use it. So that one will find somewhere else. Let's find my smaller palettes. These are lovely. Now this is a mauvey pinky one, and I love this. I love these palettes. These are by LA Girl. I got these online as well. LA Girl's not sort of openly available in the UK. But if you see those palettes, guys, they're gorgeous. They do them in lots of different combinations. This is a plummy one, and I will very, very often reach for this if I want a plummy look. I love that palette. Definitely keeping for that. Next one. Next one. Right, this is the Eyes Want It. This is a Wet n Wild one. Sorry, guys, this is a W7 one. And I think this is the palette when I very first did a tutorial for you. I'm sure this is the palette I used. It's very, very nice. It's got some nice tones in it. It's one of those ones that, shall I keep or shan't I keep, or shall I keep? I'm going to put it on the shall I or shan't I list. I've got 3 pals down here, guys, so I know what's what. Now, next one. I got 2 very recently. You saw me do it on Monday from my friends. That one I haven't even opened yet. I did look with that one on Monday. On Tuesday. Of course I wouldn't part with them. I can't part with gifts. I can't. It's just, I just can't do it. This is a little one that is a good staple if you want to go to a quick single. I don't have a lot of single shadows, guys. I think I've got about 3. But this is one that I will turn to if I want a quick look. It's another staple. It's Nutty by Creme Brulee, and we all turn to those, don't we? So that's that one. I have next, now another neutral palette. This one is by Wet n Wild, and it's the Un Naturel palette. And this I like this one as well. I wouldn't part with this one. It's one of my favourites. I tend to keep the pigmentation and the longevity as opposed to the colour. You know, if it's a colour and it's not going to last, and it's no point. But I will keep this one. I like it. It was part of, do you remember last year I did an exchange with Kathy A? Well, it was part of that, and Kathy sent me this. And I really like it. I really like that. In fact, I'm going to put that towards the front because I haven't used it for a while. Sometimes if you get all your stuff out, you find stuff you remember you didn't know you had. This one is Sleek. And this is I Heart Divine. And those are the colours. They are lovely. It's a lovely palette, there's no doubt about it. But I never ever reach for it. Because it is really a little bit too shimmer. Now, it's not a cheap, nasty shimmer by any means. But for a mature eye, it's just a little bit too foily for me, for my eyes anyway, because I have problems with my eyes, you know that, guys. So I'm going to put that on the giveaway pile. Next one, I have two that I got for Christmas from Sugar Box. I haven't even opened these yet, guys. They are these colours that are in the back there. Can you see? So they look quite nice. I haven't even opened those. They were Christmas gifts, so obviously I'm definitely not going to give those out. I'm going to keep those. The next one is a Freedom palette. I love Freedom. Now, if you're looking for a bit of glitter? What's glitter? If you're looking for a little bit of shimmer and you've got a neutral palette, this is a great one to go along with it because they are all shimmers in there, everyone. Some more shimmery than others, but they're lovely to go alongside, you know, a natural neutral palette. They are lovely to go alongside that. So this one I would definitely keep. Let's have a look what this one is, guys, because this is one I would, you know, I'd give the thumbs up to buy. This is Freedom Pro 12 palette in its Audacious 3. I have used this in a tutorial, guys, but it's really good. Lasts, doesn't go in the creases. Excellent. I love this palette and I definitely wouldn't part with that. Next one is one from Makeup Revolution. Now, I've kept this because of the neutral shades. But you know what? I don't think I've ever even used it. I don't do these sort of colours, guys. Years ago, they just don't do it for me now. Now, I'm not saying it's anything to do with my age because, you know, age means nothing to me. It's more to do with the fact that my eyes just don't carry that anymore. My eyes have aged badly. You know I always worry about it. So they don't carry that anymore. There's one in here that I really like. And it's that one. But I know I can find that, this one here. But I know I can find that in another palette. I know. But they're so nice. Do you do this? I'm going to put it on the I don't. No, I'm not. I'm going to put it on the giveaway. Right. This one, same thing again. Makeup Revolution. Now, they are all mattes. But I've got these, guys, in umpteen different... Again, these are a little bit too dense for me. But I've got these colours 100 times over in other palettes. And I never reach for it. It's probably 8, 9 months before I've reached for this palette. So I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to give that one out. Now, next, I've got a couple of the iconic ones from Makeup Revolution, which I love. The Redemption palettes. These are the first ones, really, that came out sort of on the back of do you know, I can never think of my words. On the back of Urban Decay's Naked palettes. So these are the first ones that came out. And I like these, guys. I really like these. Now, that's a shimmer palette. But you can put it together. If you put it together with a more... This is a matte palette. You can make some lovely looks up with those two palettes. And I wouldn't part with those. I haven't used them an awful lot. But I think doing this today, hopefully, will remind me what some nice things I've got. So... Those two, definitely, that's matte, that's shimmer. And they sort of come out on the back of Urban Decay's Naked palettes. But they're by Makeup Revolution. And they are the Redemption palette and the Redemption Essential Mattes. So I'm definitely not going to part with them. They're very classic and I love them. That is a brow palette, so that's not been included. Back to saying to you, Wet n Wild do some lovely ones. This is my latest one from Wet n Wild. It's a delicious palette. It's a copy of Anastasia's Beverly Hills palette, Modern Renaissance, and I really, really like it. It's probably not my best copy. I think my best copy is one I'll show you, which I've done a video on, which I've done with my dupes. But it is a nice palette and I wouldn't part with that one. I like that one. It is really pigmented, really nice, blends easily. I wouldn't part with that one. As I said, W7 can either do it or they don't. Next one. This is W7 again. This is in the tin and this is their neutral palette. Again, come out on the back of Urban Decay's palettes. Guys, I've got, how many of these I've got now? This will be the third one. I don't need that many in those colours. It's not a bad palette. It blends quite nicely. But I just don't need that many of that colour. Somebody else could make do with that because I keep my things nice and clean. Next is the Exposed palette. This is by the Face of London. And this is from, I think, on the back of Urban Decay's Naked 3, the pinky one. I like this one, guys. I like this palette an awful lot. It's not a huge brand, but it's a really good brand. I really like it. That's really pigmented and they really last. So that's Face of London and it's called Exposed 3. So obviously it's a dupe of the Naked 3, but I like it. I like it and it's really pigmented and it lasts. So I'm definitely not parting with that one. Next. Now I got this for Christmas. I certainly wouldn't part with this one because I adore it and I use it a lot. It's my NYC palette and it's underneath it all, but naked. And it's the one with that on top, the shadows on top, and underneath is the blushes and the highlights. And it's a lovely palette. I love the way it blends out. It's not over, it is pigmented, but it's not overly pigmented that you can't get, you know, sometimes they're so pigmented that tiny little bit and you've got to work it in. But this one is like a cloud. I love that cloud of colour. You know, that subtle, not a painted colour, but just a cloud of colour. Do you know what I mean? And I love that, and that does this, and I love that. And that was a Christmas present from my best, so obviously I wouldn't part with that anyway. The next one is, I like this palette as well. This is another all-in-one palette. This is by the Cosmetics, just called the Cosmetics Company. We have quite a lot of this over here in the UK. It's another all singing, all dancing one. I'm going to keep this one, guys, because it's got some colours in that I haven't got. The blushes are nice. The highlighters are very, very nice. And there's some colours in there that I haven't got in other palettes. I haven't got a lot of green. There's lovely pinks in there. And also some aubergines, which I really, really like. It's a nice pigmented palette. It does last. It's not one I'd reach for every single day. Although I do like the contour in here is really nice. The highlights and the blushes are really nice. It's another one that I should get out more, and I don't. But it's a good one. I'm going to keep that one. Another one is the Makeup Treasury palette. Now again, lovely palette. I love this. I've done looks with this on here. I love the colours in this one, guys. It's lovely. But I've got those colours so many times over. How many times do I need those colours? You know, I haven't reached for it for about 6 months because I've got the colours, so many in other palettes that, you know, rather somebody gets some use out of it, isn't it, than just sort of sitting in my drawer taking up space. And I'm terrible for, I may use that one day. I'll keep that. I might use it, but I'm not going to use this because I've got so many others, so I'm going to give that away. My next one is one of my all-time favourite palettes, and I would fight you for this one. This is the Flawless 3 Resurrection palette. You've seen me use this umpteen times. I love this palette. This is the one that if you go to the colours right, it's the best copy for the Modern Renaissance. But I've done a video on that. I'll link that video below, actually, if you haven't seen it. But it compares the different ones for Modern Renaissance. And I tested a lot, and this one came out the best. And I love this palette. I love these palettes. So definitely wouldn't part with that, as I wouldn't part with this. I love this. This is, I'm going to do a look with this because I've had 2 requests from 2 of my lovely ladies that asked me if I would do this. And you know, I'm taking requests now for looks. I'm putting it down in my diary if there's anything you want to see. And I've had a couple for this, so I'm going to do this next. So this is the Makeup Revolution. It's I Heart Makeup. and it's a chocolate rose gold palette. It's lovely. I got this just before Christmas as well, and I love the colours in this. It's lovely, so pigmented. More of a night out or of an evening look, I would say, for me anyway. But sorry guys, you can see my light. I really, really love that palette, and I wouldn't part with that one. That's one of my favourites. What else have we got, guys? Just 1 minute, I'll be back. I can't have a look over there with stuff. Now this is one by Freedom. I think I've said to you before, Freedom are part of Makeup Revolution. It's all called Tan Beauty over here. They're part of Makeup Revolution. I think in America it's all called Makeup Revolution or Revolution, but over here it's divided into departments. And this is the Freedom one. And this is a, look, I love, this is novelty, but I like it, and the shadows are good. So it's like a little laptop. And then all the colours are in there, and I really love that. I think that's lovely. I love their shadows. I love all those colours. I love that's a lovely contour. It's not, you know, it's just a nice, it's not orangey. It's just lovely, and I love it. I love that palette. So that is called, what is this called, guys? The Pro Artist Palette, Studio to Go. I love this. It is novelty because it's like a laptop. But they're lovely shadows, guys. They are really pigmented and they really last. They're gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. The light ones. I mean, they're really lovely and I love them. So I'm going to keep that. But what I need to do is keep more things up on top, you know, because I don't. Okay, so last is my pride and joy. This is a naked palette. Shock horror, Bella's got high. This is the Naked Ultimate Basics. I love the lid. I love that. This was a Christmas present. The colours are superb, but I'm sure you're all aware of this one. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette. And it was bought for me at Christmas by a very, very special lady. And you know who you are. And I love you loads. So that's my naked palette. And I wouldn't, you know, I'd go to war for that one. So that's my palettes. Now, I would say it's sort of half and half that I'm going to keep and half that I'm going to give away, because it's just a shame, isn't it? They're sitting in the drawer doing nothing. And I mean, I don't have high-end posh stuff. I can't, I'd love posh. I'd love it. I'd love, you know, more of these. But I'm happy with what I've got. And I've only got one earring in, and I forgot to put the other one in. How very me. Let's do that immediately. So yeah, I've just got my naked palette, which was a gift, but knowing that I buy high street all the time, or drugstore as you call it in the States, I know the better the brands, and I know the brands to avoid, and I can tell just by sort of testing, really. I'm sure you can too. I mean, there's some drugstore brands and lower end brands that, you know, I'd avoid like the plague, but there's some that are really good, and the ones that I kept are the ones that I really like, and the ones that I'm giving out are not bad, but I've just got too many. I've just got too many, and I feel they could do somebody else a bit of good. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed going through my eyeshadows with me. Do you want to do the same with lipsticks? Let me know if you want to, and we can do that, but I don't want to bore you. But if you want to do the same with lipsticks, we can do that. So you have a good weekend, guys. Enjoy yourselves. I hope. Do you think it'll start getting warmer soon? I don't know. It's freezing here. Anyway, I'll see you again on Tuesday. Have a good weekend, and I love you, and you know I do. Bye. Bye.